All right, welcome everybody to our first meeting of the year 2022. I'm also proud to announce that we, at 5:45 this evening, we swore in our new council member here, Barbara Diamond, for her first four-year term, official four-year term. And Barb, congratulations. And,
Thank you.
And again, it's great to have you on the team. So what I'm going to do now is ask the clerk to call the roll.
Mayor Petroselli,
Present?
Councilman Torricello,
Present.
Councilwoman Diamond.
Present.
Will everybody please stand? We'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. All right, I'll ask the minutes of the previous meeting to be read.
Mayor, I will make a motion that we dispense with the reading of the minutes of the December 16th meeting.
I will second that.
Okay, a motion made in second. Call the roll.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Councilman Torricello,
In favor.
Mayor Petroselli.
In favor. All right, we'll move into the reports of officers and committee.
Okay, I'll bring, can you hear me through here? No,
Yeah.
not working.
It's,
Okay.
the system seems to have died for the moment.
Understood.
Okay.
Just to,
Speak loud.
yeah, just to follow up on a couple items I talked about last week. One is the feasibility study that Labella is doing. They are planning to do a workshop with some members of the administration on February 3rd. We're trying to settle that on it now, but it'll be a nice working meeting to see where the project has come to date. So I'll send out some invites on that when that time comes. The catch basin that I talked about on Loomis was delivered at our last meeting. Well, that has now been installed, and subsequently we had a significant rain event in which the homeowners were happy. We did not hear from them, so it seems to be working as expected. The engineers are going to be on site at 1025th Street. This is the one, the corner property on the corner of 25th and 10th Avenue that had a pipe burst in it. We've been working diligently with, there's a Guardian Asset Management, and they were able to acquire an engineering firm, and they'll be on site to get a idea as to what the status of the building is, and then from that point, hopefully we'll move towards demolition. Lead line replacement, phase 2. We have a kickoff meeting to solidify all the applicants and next phases on the 18th of January. So that project is moving forward. The combined sewer outlet, we have a kickoff meeting with the engineers on January 10th. We're under consent order, and it's been for a 5-year program, I believe it was. We're in the last 2 years of that program. We have 3 scheduled for 2022 and 2 scheduled for 2023 in order to meet that deadline. So on the 10th, we'll have that kickoff meeting. I know tonight we're going to act on two events, but the splash pad, as you can see, the contractor has moved forward and put some blankets down on the grass area of the pool. That's in order to relieve some of the frost that's in the ground so they can start digging after we give them a go-ahead after tonight's council meeting. And lastly, we've been very, very fortunate with the weather. There's only been 2 days that we've sent out the salt trucks over the winter. So knock on wood, we're into early January, and we still have not had a significant event, which kept us in for overtime.
That just guarantees a blizzard.
Yeah, we're going to have something at some point, so sorry about that. And lastly, test kits. We've been, I know the mayor, you'll probably want to speak a little bit about this as well, but we've had our second delivery of test kits. I know the mayor and council will probably assist tomorrow between 2 and 4 to deliver some of the test kits for COVID and masks to the residents within the city of Watervliet. That's all I have here.
Okay, good. Anything else? We'll start into old business. I don't believe there's any.
Your Honor, there is no old business on this evening's agenda.
Okay. New business, please.
New business, resolution number 1 for 2022 is a resolution accepting a grant award from the Housing Trust Fund Corporation, represented by the Office of Community Renewal, and authorizing and directing Mayor Charles B. Patricelli to execute an agreement and related documents regarding same.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we move on resolution number 1.
And I will second it.
Okay?
This year is, we did get an award notification from the state of New York that back in December that we were awarded $500,000 for fiscal year 2021 grant round. That's for housing improvements throughout the city. And I know the mayor had acknowledged it and sent it out to the residents. Thus far, we probably had about 50 plus emails and calls of interest, and we're putting together a list of people, so when we do solidify the contract with the state, we can go right out and start getting applications going.
Who makes the determination on which residents get that?
There is a review committee. What does the CAC stand for? I forget.
Citizens Advisory.
Citizens Advisory Council that reviews those councilmen, and then at that point, we make a determination as they go forward. The needs assessment goes from seniors and veterans and low moderate income projects.
We can't identify a particular neighborhood or area where we would like the money to go.
You know, when I was involved at the state level for this program, when we took it from HUD under Governor Pataki, that's the way the program was designed for. Although it did spatter throughout a municipality, it tried to concentrate in areas to make the greatest impact and then try to go forward. It's something we could look at, you know, as we move on, but
I think
we'll have to check.
I think we should look at that.
And they do like that when we file the application, they like us to put that in there as well, that we're going to target a specific area.
But unfortunately, we didn't do that
We
for
didn't do that.
2021.
That's right. We said that we were going to help veterans and senior citizens.
Yeah, but one thing that we're doing differently now, though, is we're putting this in a Excel spreadsheet to do exactly what you're saying. We're setting it up by, address and location, so we can actually start to see where the need is greatest and hopefully try to meet that criteria in the future. But also we're adding, what are you looking for? A roof, foundation, and those type of things, so we can start to see the need going forward.
Now, was there a waiting list from the last time there was a grant that was distributed?
I don't want to call it a waiting list because we had people that had interest in order for us to put the application in. So that was really the needs that got us the application, that got us the award.
Okay.
I know there's a very misunderstanding, at least in my mind, that the people have been thinking that they're on a list and they're ready, but there was an application, but it wasn't specific to this.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
because someone
and
mentioned
correct
to
me
me
if
that
I'm
there was
wrong,
a
Dave.
waiting list, so it's like, okay, all
Yeah,
right, that's
the
good to know.
applications that we got was for a need in order for the city to be awarded.
Right.
Yeah.
All right,
It demonstrated need.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So-
there was a misconception, though, of a lot of people to think that they were on this list and that they were next in line.
Right.
And since then, like Joe had mentioned, I had sent out that email, and it was on, of course, on Facebook too, but it was out on the, as citywide. I probably got 30 or 40 people
since.
that has since said, can I get on the list? Can I get on the list? Or on your list. And what we've been doing is basically saying, you're on this list, and then the criteria will be done.
Correct.
We have to establish the criteria, like you say, the priorities, and how that person or that family is selected, so
Right.
that it's clear cut and done fairly throughout the, because we'll never be able to provide all the assistance.
You're never going to satisfy all of them.
Never.
Right.
Never. And then, also the work items, we like to see, because again, we like to see health and safety, codes, and then, maybe some energy with a significant payback, not a, brand new, bay windows, with
Oh,
the-
right.
that
Right,
might
yeah.
be of a 20-year.
I think there is some benefit to identifying and, putting it all in, not all, putting a chunk of it into one area or neighborhood to kind of clean up a
Oh,
street.
yeah, yeah.
Or something like that, as opposed to one little, I know everybody needs it, everybody wants it, and they're probably entitled to it at some level.
Right.
But if you disperse this all over the city, I think you get less bang for your buck,
Yeah,
I would think.
I would agree.
Is it like for single-family homes or like two-family homes where the landlord is living in the house, or is there any stipulation like that?
Yes, it is, and I think it's a maximum of a 3-unit.
Two.
It's a 2-unit?
Two-unit?
Okay.
It's a single and a multi-family unit, but it has to be owner occupied.
Okay.
Okay,
That's the term I was looking for, yeah. Okay,
Good.
thank you.
And I think it has to remain on there.
It has to remain owner occupied for
For
5
5
years.
years, yeah.
Okay, good, thank you.
Good. Anything else? All right, call the roll.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Councilman Torricella,
In favor?
Mayor Patricella.
In favor.
Resolution number 2 for 2022 is a resolution designating Pioneer Bank as the official depository for, what is that?
Depository for funds.
For funds for the city of Watervliet.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we move on resolution number 2 for
I'll second that.
2022.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll second that.
Okay? And these are pretty straightforward resolutions, organizations. So, any questions? Call the roll.
Questions?
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Councilman Torricella,
In favor?
Mayor Patricella.
In favor.
Resolution number 3 for the year 2022 is a resolution approving City of Watervliet employee travel to various meeting locations and conferences throughout New York State, and further delegating the Director of Finance the responsibility to establish mileage disbursement.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion, we move on the resolution.
And I will second it.
Okay, any questions? Call the roll.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Councilman Torricella,
In favor?
Mayor Patricella.
In favor.
Resolution number 4 for the year 2022 is a resolution approving an agreement between the City of Watervliet and Joanna P. Gleason commencing January 1st, 2022 and ending December 31st, 2022, and directing Mayor Charles B. Patricella to execute same.
Mayor, I will make a motion that we move on resolution number 4.
And I will second that.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, does she come into City Hall, or does she just do this all from her private office?
She comes into City Hall.
Goes to the city hall and the court.
Yeah.
She
She was there.
I didn't know if they did okay, good, that's all I wanted. Okay, thanks. No questions, no further.
Just so you know, I covered for her one period of
Yeah.
time, and she sees a significant number of people each time.
They come, so on their traffic court day, she comes and she
Yes.
does, okay, great. Yep, good, thank you.
Call the roll.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Councilman Torricella,
In favor?
Mayor Patricella.
In favor.
Resolution number 5 for the year 2022 is a resolution designating an official newspaper for the City of Watervliet in accordance with Article 4, Section 33 of the City Code.
I'll make a motion, we move on the resolution.
And I will second it.
Okay, any questions?
What paper? Do we choose the paper, or? Yeah, Charter
Charter
Record.
Record.
It doesn't say so, okay. Question?
Okay.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Councilman Torricella,
In favor?
Mayor Patricella.
In favor.
Resolution number 6 for the year 2022 is a resolution approving an amendment to an agreement between the City of Watervliet and Gomez and Sullivan Engineers, DPC, and further authorizing and directing Mayor Charles B. Patricella to execute same.
All right, Mayor, I will make a motion that we move on resolution number 6.
And I'll second that.
Okay.
I think anyone who's sitting, had sat on the council for the past couple of years knows that this has been a project that's been going around since 2017. We thought we were close in 2019 or 2019 to get the FERC licensing agreement done. When I came on board, we were very close to settling it at that time. Early 2020, it took a turn, and things fell apart. There was retirements on DEC side. We had to rebuild the entire agreement again. So this agreement here that we're asking for tonight is it's a not to exceed, but it's for an additional $40,500 because the original agreement back in 2017 only spoke to having 2 meetings at the time and to deal with a couple of attachments that are through it. Now we're talking about recreational plans and everything that have gone through based on needs, wants, desires of both DEC and the town of Guilderland. What I can say with earnest right now is that we're at a point where the recreation plan has been agreed to. It is now going forward that way, and we're finalizing the federal requirements under the hydro portion of this, so we are a lot closer again to have this thing finalized.
Is it up in February? Do we have to have that?
It is. So this will also, we're going to try to get this in, I think it was by the end of January, from speaking with Michelle, that we'll try to get it.
Yeah, trying to get it all wrapped up by the end of this month.
So,
And just out of curiosity, what is the recreational use?
so they wanted on water recreation, and the city fought back because this was our drinking water.
Right.
In the original, when if you go back to when the dam and the water was actually made, the reservoir was made for it, it was actually the Department of Health that no on-water recreation came, because again, it was our drinking water. But right now, we have a trail that DEC and Gilderland will install on its way in, and it comes close to where you were with us when we launched the boats
Okay.
and so on. So it's over in that region of it off of Hurst Road. DEC and Town of Gilderland will install a cantilevered pier over the water. I think it's a 10 by 20 pier, so they would have as close to being on the water as you can. DEC, NCON, and Gilderland will also be monitoring and policing those.
Okay.
And I believe we'd all.
Wait, it's just so they can fish off the,
They can
right?
fish.
Yeah,
But there's
it's
no-
only from the side of the,
Yeah,
side.
from that one
Yeah.
No, I
place,
think
or all around?
all around,
the-
this is all around. They're going to post signage
Correct.
for areas that they are not supposed to go on, but
Right.
they're not going to be limited to just the little
The-
dot.
Not the
Right.
dock, they can
Right.
go around in other areas except for the private properties that abut those, the reservoirs.
What's the purpose of the dock? Just-
Yeah,
Give people a place to fish,
Give-
and maybe
give
get
them-
out a little bit farther.
Okay.
yeah. So that's where we are.
But
No
there's no,
boating?
there'll be no boating, there'll be no
boating,
swimming, there'll be
yeah,
no
there's
nothing, there'll be
boating
no
on
anything,
it or
right?
anything like
Okay.
that.
There's no ice fishing.
No ice fishing.
No ice fishing.
Yeah. Exactly. But then with
And no
that
trapping.
came.
There was no trapping.
No trapping, no honey trapping or anything.
No
like
trapping,
that.
no, and that's what they wanted. They wanted trapping, they wanted ice fishing, and they wanted boating.
Yeah.
Well, this sounds pretty good then. I mean,
I-
this
Well,
is-
it's light at the end of the tunnel too,
There's
right?
light at the end of the tunnel. We were there when I first came in, and then, like I said, due to retirements and other wants and desires of Gilderland, things fell apart. And they somehow got DEC to back them, and, now we're working through that again. So unfortunately, we're the ones who spent a lot of money trying to get back to where we were 2 years ago.
This is all great. Does this have anything to do with eels and
Yes.
worm and all that? And
That's all
that-
part of the next
what's
phase,
that
and
status?
that's when we start to spend money. When you talk about the eel passage,
In other words, we can satisfy our FERC requirements by February. We think we can, right? We can
Yes.
do that, and the next phase has to do with,
yes, but then we have times that we have to meet in order to put these studies into action. So we have time to go through, building the ladder, the racks, and those type of things for all the eels, and also look at all the dissolved oxygen and turbidity and all that type of stuff. I think that's going to be part of the plan for the harvesting and those type of things as well. So that's when the real, I think, dollars, it would never equate to what DEC or Gilderland will ever have to pay. But it's all part of what we have to do in order to make the water better,
and that's down, that's,
That's going to be over the
That's
next
down the
few
road a
years.
little- that's down the
Yeah,
road a
That's
little
over the
bit.
next few years.
okay.
And this is all to allow us to have a hydro plant. That's
Correct, correct.
So the hydro plant is what is generating the payback, so to speak,
Yeah.
for some of these expenses.
What's the
Yeah.
status of the hydro plant right now? Is it a paperweight, or is it creating money?
It's
I
it's up and running.
believe
It's up
we
and running.
are up and running.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tripped a couple of times. We've been putting, again, lack of maintenance, we've been putting in more things along the way, breakers, different switches, upgrading harnesses, those type of things. And it started working, and then, the ladder, the trash racks got clogged with a lot of sediment and stuff like that, so we had to clean those out. Just recently, it was running for, I think it was a week to 10 days, solid, and then something got caught in the trash racks again, had a little bit more draw on it, and it tripped, so we had to go back out there. So we're definitely ahead of where we used to be in operating, so.
Is there like a monthly,
So we get money every month, well, when it's running,
when it's running?
we get money every month from National Grid.
Okay.
And that goes directly into the water fund 2770 account.
Okay. And obviously, like in the spring and in the fall, it's more, or spring and summer, it's a little bit more,
Maybe not summer, depending
Not
on
summer, yeah,
how
not
hot,
summer,
but
but-
spring is usually
that's when
the,
it's,
snow melting and all that good stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
And I know there, you supply us with those with those figures, I'm sure, right?
I think that's really the only thing, unless they sell scrap metal, going into that 2770 account,
Yeah.
which doesn't happen very often. So it's in there. I can certainly.
I'm curious, and I'll bug you one of these days. I'm just curious more than anything. Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
call the roll.
Councilwoman Diamond,
Favor?
Councilman Torricella,
In favor.
Mayor Patricella.
In favor.
Resolution number 7 for 2022 is a resolution awarding a contract for the installation of security fencing at the Watervliet filtration plant and authorizing Mayor Charles V. Patricelli to execute all required documents regarding same.
I'll make a motion, we move on resolution number 7 for 2022.
And I will second it.
This is the second contract that we've entered into under the WIA program, which is under the Environmental Facilities Corporation, which is the upgrades to the filtration plant. You saw the one earlier for the SCADA program, in order for us to go out to bid there. This one here is for the fencing, which is the security fencing. This will be an 8-foot-high barbed wire fence that will go around the perimeter of the filtration plant, as well as having a slide mechanical gate at the front end of it for entry, and then a couple of other things for maintenance along the side. The award is going to Bruce Fence for $158,881 for a black vinyl fence, and they were the lowest responsible bidder.
Yes, I do have a question.
Yes.
Speaking of barbed wire fences, on another matter, do we have to have a barbed wire fence around the pool? We're spending $500,000 to upgrade the splash pad and all that stuff, and I think it looks really bad to have that barbed wire fence around the top. I think it looks like it's Attica or something.
It looks like the Arsenal,
It
right?
looks like a prison place. And we're this is going to be a really attractive, focus point of that whole area of the city. And I just think that barbed wire looks really bad. It looks like a prison.
Yeah. We could have conversations on that. I don't know why, I can assume why it was put
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
This is going to be a large investment as well. We're
Yeah.
going to have security of cameras around it to hopefully deter anything like that. So we could have a conversation.
It's certainly not
about
welcoming.
barbed wire.
That's a good point.
It's not welcoming.
Well, I can honestly say we don't want it to be welcoming for,
Well-
in my day,
Yeah, I know.
We used to
but
jump
you're-
that.
I know, but your day and my day were 50 years ago.
that's correct.
And people have, I don't know, I just think that it's going to be such an attractive part of that neighborhood and of the community. I think putting barbed wire around it is, I don't know, maybe you have to put barbed wire, but something got to be done to make it a little, hide it or make it more attractive. And I know there's a cost, I get it. I mean,
It's
I
not
get it.
it's not the cost, it's the
Is the insurance?
Safety.
it's a safety.
Oh, safety
You
issue,
get
yeah.
you get a bunch of kids in there. I mean, you get a bunch of kids going in there at night. And again, cameras are great, but they're not
Yeah.
monitored unless
Yeah.
you're there.
How about-
You might see them, but next morning you see somebody floating in the pool is not the
I think
ideal.
I know, I agree, but I'd be curious to find out whether other communities have it that way.
I was gonna say-
Like the town of Colony,
Right.
and I know it's different, there's not
What?
that many people in the town of Colony, or...
Town of Colony does not have, you're saying barbed wire around the
Yeah,
pool?
yeah.
Does not have barbed wire around it.
No,
I don't believe Cahoes does
I
either.
don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, when you talk about barbed wire, if you look at some fencing, when you see the crisscross at the very
Yeah.
top, that's considered barbed as well.
Right.
We actually have the The tree.
We actually have the real barbed
The
wire.
barbed wire with the
Yeah.
spike on it, not the razor wire, but the
Right.
barbed,
Yeah.
component, so there's different variations of the barb.
I think we should look at it, especially in light of the fact that you're spending so much money on that,
Yeah.
on that area. And it's gonna look great, and I'd hate to have see something detract from that. Okay, I said mine. I'm done.
Okay. Anything else on the filtration plant fence?
No.
No? We'll call the
Were
roll?
we talking about the filtration plants?
Yes, we will.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Councilman Torricella,
In favor.
Mayor Patricella.
In favor?
You at least could ask your question on the next one.
Yeah, I can.
I know, I was gonna say that.
Because I'm just gonna repeat everything.
Resolution number 8 for the year 2022 is a resolution awarding a contract for the concrete pad and infrastructure for spray pool and authorizing Mayor Charles V. Patricelli to execute all required documents regarding same.
Mayor, I will make a motion that we move on resolution number 8.
And I'll second that.
Okay, now that we've asked and answered the
Exactly.
issue of barbed wire
Yeah.
around the pool area, this is specific to, you all saw the pictures of the splash pad, how you have a wet deck and then you have the dry deck. This here is for all-inclusive, both pourings of the concrete, but specifically to get the project going and how we're phasing that project, you're going to see just the wet deck being poured over the winter months and the infrastructure going to each where the attractions are going to be and the water comes out of the ground. But this is to get the entire project in and done, but there is a phasing portion to that. So $379,600 by Gallo Construction was the lowest responsible bidder for this project.
I know you sent it. What was that number again? 300?
379,600. They were the lowest responsible. The highest was 433,000.
No questions.
No questions?
All right. All right, no questions, we'll call the roll.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Councilman Torricella,
In favor.
Mayor Patricella.
In favor?
Resolution number 9 for the year 2022 is a resolution directing the assessor to grant certain exemptions on the 2022 assessment roll to property owners that received the exemption on the 2021 assessment roll.
I'll make a motion that we move on resolution number 9 for 2022.
And I will second it.
So you likely passed a resolution similar to this last year. This is all pandemic related, and basically it allows the city to continue exemptions that had previously existed without requiring the person to apply for the exemption. There's also some exceptions to that if the assessor believes that there's a reason why the person should not continue to have the exception, then they can pursue that.
Thank you.
Fair enough. Okay,
Sounds good.
call the roll.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Councilman Torricella,
In favor.
Mayor Patricella.
In favor?
The next order of business is ordinance 1 for the year 2022, and this is an ordinance establishing the amount to be collected for state and county taxes for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2022.
Mayor, I'll make a motion that we move on ordinance number 1 for the year 2022.
And I will second that.
So the county passed their rate after we had our last council meeting. So this is just authorizing us to collect the funds for the county.
And the bills haven't gone up yet.
They are in the mail today.
Are they getting the mail today? Okay. Everybody will be happy to hear that.
Oh, thrilled.
With the exception of these ones right now.
Okay. Any other questions?
No questions?
Okay, call the roll.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Councilman Torricella,
In favor.
Mayor Patricella.
In favor?
Your Honor, that concludes the new business on this evening's agenda.
Okay. Is anything else to be brought up? Okay. Just the, as Joe mentioned, we have the COVID tests. We have another batch of COVID kits that were delivered to us today. We plan on doing them tomorrow at 2 o'clock, right out here.
You're gonna, people are gonna come here to get it.
Correct.
Earlier, Joe said you're gonna deliver. We're not gonna deliver.
No,
To who?
I didn't say delivered.
Yeah.
I think they were delivered to us today.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, delivered to us today. Yes.
You need help tomorrow?
Just whatever wants to show up, they'll
Okay.
show up. That's fine. We're going to they hand out the whatever masks. Some people have asked for masks again, but most of them are looking for the test. One box per household and resident of Watervliet. Okay,
Were you checking IDs?
yes. Yes.
You've got about 2.5 boxes of masks left, unless you got more today.
No, we didn't get
No,
any
we didn't
masks.
get more
did we?
masks.
Yeah, we,
So you got about 2.5 boxes
yeah.
left, which is should be.
It's quite a few. The other thing too is that we're finalizing or setting up is, Barb is helping myself, but we're doing the senior surveys that we had sent out, probably about 130 senior surveys that we received. We're tabulating now the results of it, and hopefully in the next meeting or the following meeting, we'll have something to send out as far as what the services are that the seniors have responded and individuals have responded from those surveys. So
That'll be interesting.
it is interesting. And that's about it. That's all I have. Anybody else? Well, there's, fortunately, there's no, anybody here for public comment. Do we read it anyway? That's right. That's what I was, I'm only going by protocol here. So there's nobody here for be able to have a public comment period, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
And I will second it.
I call the roll.
Councilwoman Diamond,
In favor?
Councilman Torrance,
In favor.
Mayor Patricella.
In favor. Good. Next meeting is January 20th.